When we talk about gut health in St. Louis Skin Solutions, a couple things come to my mind as we've kind of gone deeper and deeper down your rabbit hole. One of the things that I wonder about is patients that are on hormone replacement that are not getting the results that they're expecting. Also, any of our weight loss patients that are stuck or they're still feeling slow and bloated.
So that's the number one thing to look at is the gut.
Okay.
It really is. It's 90% of that is gut. Hi, everybody out there in internet land.
Welcome to Skin Deep with Dr. Amy Miller.
And I'm Dr. Amy Miller. I'm coming at you from St. Louis Skin Solutions here in St. Louis, Missouri. And what wine today do we have, Megan?
Well, today we have a lovely Spanish red. It's 100% Grenache. So generally when wine comes from Spain in a Grenache, you might get a little bit more of a spicy finish, like a cardamom flavor to it, maybe a little black pepper. So my guess is that this guy's going to need a little time to breathe, and so he'll probably open up as we record.
Okay.
So I bet by the end of the podcast, he may be a little more smooth than he might be right now.
We'll try it
Yes.
afterwards. Okay. Yeah.
It needs to open up.
Yeah. Okay. We'll leave it.
It's not bad. We had one red a couple months ago that was really bad that we ended up dumping.
It's like tangy on my tongue still.
Yeah. It needs to open up.
Yeah.
It needs to breathe.
Okay.
So
All right.
we'll give it a little time. We just opened it. I didn't open it earlier in the day, which I didn't think of.
No.
So here we go.
All right. And it's got a 92 from
the Decanter magazine, which I've never heard of that
either.
One, but I'll look it up.
Okay.
I'll look it up. All right. So today we are going to be chatting about one of our biggest things in our whole little bodies, our gut.
Yes.
Why?
Why are we talking about gut?
Why are we talking about gut at a skin clinic?
Well, very interesting. I was putzing around and I found this lovely article about the gut-skin axis and how the two interact with each other and affect each other. And how some inflammatory skin diseases, say rosacea, say acne, are when they're examined, they find that they have inflammatory or leaky gut.
Okay.
And vice versa. And so I did a deep dive. I went down kind of a rabbit hole. And there's lots of connections with other body systems in the gut and the brain.
Okay.
So some patients with mental conditions, depression, whatnot, can have altered gut bacteria.
Interesting.
Gut and the cardiovascular system, the nitrous oxide production. So that kind of thing. So it led me down this rabbit hole. I'm like, well, I want to learn more about the gut. And the deeper I dug into it, the more I realized, wow, this is really important.
Yeah.
And this applies to me, to my practice, and to my patients. Definitely. So, gut health. What is it? Well, we abuse our guts.
Oh, with everything.
With
wine.
Alcohol. That's probably
wine, processed foods.
My energy drinks.
Yeah. My Diet Coke.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm way down on Diet Coke. Like I'm 1 or 2 a week.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah. So I won't keep it in the house. So 1 or 2 a week,
Yeah, I'm not so good with my energy drinks, but we won't go into that
today.
Yeah. But when you think about the gut and the skin, they're a lot alike. They're both barriers. The skin is a barrier from the outside world, and our gut is our interior barrier from the outside world. So we put a lot of weird, bad, unusual things into our gut.
Sure.
And when you get down to the colon, where there's a lot of absorption going on, there is just a single layer of cells between us and the outside world. So this single layer of cells guarding our body from whatever else, from what other environmental toxins or environmental agents we've ingested. And that's not very much.
No.
The skin, we got tons of layers.
Right.
Tons and tons of layers. So We have this little barrier, and this little fence, shall we say, has gates,
Okay.
right? And sometimes we need to open those gates to get a bigger molecule in.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a little protein guy that guards the gate, shall we say, and his name is zonulin. Yeah.
Zonulin. Okay.
And so when we drink a lot of Monster or alcohol, or say have a course of antibiotics.
Okay.
There was a study showed that the gut microbiome was changed for up to 60 days after a single course of Zithromax.
Oh.
Zithromax is a 5-day common antibiotic
Yeah.
for sinusitis. So, anyhow, so all of those put zonulin on high alert and keep those gates open.
Mm-hmm.
And then whatever crap, excuse me, that we've ingested can get into our system. So there's lots of immune cells in the gut because, it's a high traffic area.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we have a lot of soldiers guarding the fence. They're guarding the gate. And so when we get some of that stuff in, it pisses those guys off, our
Right.
soldiers off, and they start this whole inflammatory cascade. You start an immune war and you get increased inflammation.
Got it. So when we're messing with our gut, what are the symptoms that people are going to kind of notice as they're not feeling so hot? But they feel fine, but they kind of maybe they're a little sluggish, or this is kind of their normal everyday. How do we determine whether this is a gut issue?
Yeah, and it can be rather insidious,
Mm-hmm.
and rather the symptoms can kind of creep up on you. Sometimes it's just generalized fatigue,
Mm-hmm.
brain fog. Sometimes you get distinct GI symptoms like bloating and gas
Mm-hmm.
afterwards, or crampy pain, or irritable bowel, constipation, diarrhea, or fluctuating
Mm-hmm.
in between.
Yeah.
And uh, surprisingly, joint aches and pains.
Yeah.
Because as that inflammation increases, joints start to ache.
Yeah.
Inflammation starts up in the joints, and you feel kind of achy and just
What
tired.
about like water retention, edema,
Yeah,
all of those
a
kinds
little,
of things,
yeah,
a little bloating, all of those
absolutely,
things.
absolutely.
Yeah, I noticed like after a week of not eating so hot, I will often have no ankles, what we call cankles.
Yes, cankles.
I have cankles,
Absolutely.
and that I can reset that.
Mm-hmm.
But I do notice that if I've had a few too many savory meals, we'll just say,
Yeah.
or not great for me meals, that happens sometimes. So yeah.
So, you get the systemic, this all over body inflammation, and it can affect so many, many symptoms. But what's really of interest in our practice here
Right.
is not only the skin issues, but the hormones as well.
Okay.
Because if your gut's malfunctioning, you're not going to metabolize and recycle your hormones as well.
Interesting.
So you could have too little or too much. And that's one of the reasons different women will respond differently to different doses of estrogen.
Sure.
Say.
Sure.
Some of it has to do with the estrobolome, or the breakdown of estrogen in the gut.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're find that you've tried hormones and you're not responding or not doing as well as you thought, or you've tried some peptides and you're just not doing as well as you thought you would, let's look at the gut.
Reset the gut.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if hormones can be part of this issue, right? You're not reacting as we would expect you to, or you're not getting that relief that we would expect you to. What about GLP-1s? GLP-1s are the hottest thing right now on the market, and we are learning every single day how many benefits there are from these GLP-1 medications, not just for weight loss and not just for obesity or diabetes, but for so many other things, that food noise, the addiction noise, all of those things. What if you're on the weight loss journey and then you get stuck? You're stuck and you're stalled, and you've been there and you're doing the right things. Here's the key. You're doing the right things. You're moving your body. You're drinking enough water. You're eating the right foods.
Yeah.
So what's going on there?
Well, the GLP-1s, the incretin hormones are produced in the gut, and they are a powerful anti-inflammatory. But if we're so inflamed when we start, it's going to be a fight to try to even get that inflammation down, and we may be taking 2 steps forward and 2 steps back. So you got to give those GLPs a chance to work. So you may have plateaued because you're too inflamed to begin with before starting your GLP-1s. If you need to, if you lose weight and then you plateau for a while, sometimes it's a good idea to take a break, reset the gut, and then you can restart it.
Now, when you talk about gut resetting, is this I'm on estrogen and I'll be on estrogen for the rest of my duration of the world. I'm on my heart medication. I will be on that because that feels way better than the alternative. So doing a gut reset, is that a long-term thing? Is that a short-term thing?
Very temporary.
Okay.
Very temporary. You can do it in as short as a week. If it's severe, you may take 3 to 4 weeks.
Okay.
But it's a several-step process, but it's pretty easy. Now, when I was first experimenting with this, because I was experimenting myself, I kind of did it backwards. And I took a supplement called tributyrate.
Okay.
So butyrate is a short-chain fatty acid. And that's what those little colons, the little colon cells, the fence cells, use as food. Okay. That's their energy source. And if they don't have that, they can't function. They're letting all sorts of stuff in. Right. So you need to get those short-chain fatty acids in your diet. How do you do that? Well, you eat fiber. Okay. And it's fermented by the good bacteria in our gut into short-chain fatty acids. Now, if we've changed all that bacteria with antibiotics, that's a different story. Right. You're not getting that. So anyways, so I started with the butyrate, which is I was starting to feed my cells. What I should have done first is weed the area out, get rid of the bad bacteria, and then fertilized the cells.
So how do you get rid of that bad bacteria?
So there's a couple ways to do it. There's a short-term 3 to 5 day course of a prescription medication. It's originally FDA approved for a protozoan illness called Giardia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that you get from drinking water from a stream that's been contaminated with beaver feces. Strange factoid I remember from medical school. Yeah. So it's on the market for that. But it's very efficient at not only killing protozoan, but bacteria and viruses as well. Okay. So you can take that, clear out all that bad bacteria. Then you can add a peptide to help decrease the zonulin, stop that zonulin from keeping those gates open. Okay. That's called lorazepam. Okay. That is not FDA approved as of yet. It's kind of an orphan drug. It's been studied for celiac disease, and it's in phase 3 trials. It's really, really safe because most of it stays in the gut. It doesn't get absorbed, and you just poop it out. So it's staying where it needs to be acting. Okay. So there's that peptide. There's another peptide that we can do to help kill bacteria and viruses and protozoan if we can't get the prescription med, and that's called LL37.
And those are peptides.
And those are peptides. Okay. Yeah. So that can do those peptides, and then you feed the gut and you give it the good stuff. You give it the tributyrate, the small chain fatty acids. So having said it, doing it the wrong way. Yeah. Just doing the tributyrate. Right. And this may be a little TMI, but I've always had irritable bowel. Always. I mean, I remember in medical school studying for an exam, I'd get so constipated. And the minute that exam was over, I'd run in the bathroom. Yeah. So, and it's gotten better over the years, but I've always kind of fluctuated between the two. Oh my goodness. That tributyrate, I am as regular as clockwork. I've never been like clockwork. Wow. Ever.
Me neither. Yep.
And I've only been on it, say, 6 weeks. Okay. It's amazing because I don't have that bloating and cramping that I would get with the irritable bowel. So sometimes just fertilizing it helps. Yeah.
So tributyrate you can actually find on our website. You can go to our website. There's a tab on our website called FullScript, and you can click right through there. We've partnered with FullScript, and you actually get 10% off on every order, and I think an additional 5% off on your first order for anything that you order through our FullScript site. So just a little pitch. If you're looking for that tributyrate, that's where you can find it.
If you're wondering too, if maybe you do have this issue, but you're not sure, hey, you're tired, but what is that from? A little brain fog, but what is that from? So there's some tests that we can do. There's actually a fecal test that they do to look at something in the feces that shows that there's increased inflammation. I'm not gonna do that.
Nope.
But it can be done if we need to be doing it.
We can send you for that.
But a quick way to estimate if you do have some issues with your gut is to check a simple CBC, a white blood cell count, and you look at the percentages of your white blood cells, and you add certain percentages of those up. And if they are equal to 7 or more, you have some inflammation. If you are equal to 10 or more, you're on fire. Before I started the tributyrate, I checked mine. I was 12.
No.
Yeah. So I need to check it again and see where we are now. I bet you it's down.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about gut health in St. Louis Skin Solutions, a couple things come to my mind as we've kind of gone deeper and deeper down your rabbit hole. One of the things that I wonder about is patients that are on hormone replacement that are not getting the results that they're expecting. Also, any of our weight loss patients that are stuck or they're still feeling slow and bloated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What are your suggestions for those people?
So that's the number one thing to look at is the gut.
Okay.
It really is. It's 90% of that is gut probably. And it's a quick check of that CBC. But especially with the weight loss peptides, I mean, if you start them out and you're already inflamed,
right,
all the anti-inflammatory effects of those GLP-1s and GIPs aren't going to be able to compensate. So sometimes you need to do a gut reset beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you've lost weight and then you plateaued for a while, it's a good idea to stop, do your gut reset, and then restart. And usually at that point, you can lose weight again.
Okay. So then anti-inflammatory. Sometimes when people say anti-inflammatory, what people are going to think of is things like Advil,
right,
Aleve,
mm-hmm.
ibuprofen as an anti-inflammatory. But that's not an anti-inflammatory for your gut.
It actually is a pro-inflammatory for your gut.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Right.
Yes. People take ibuprofen like candy.
Yeah.
It's great for joint pain.
Sure.
But it irritates that gut. It calls that zonulin out, mm-hmm. and it opens those tight junctions, those gates mm-hmm. between the cells, and you just start this whole inflammatory cascade. More bad things get into the body, into the bloodstream.
Yeah.
The white blood cells, the immune system is activated. You get more inflammation, and it just starts this whole downward cycle.
So what that makes me think is if you stop taking the Aleves or things of that, the NSAIDs, and you maybe take the
tributyrate and or lorazepam.
That may also help with your joints?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Look at that. So fix the root problem,
mm-hmm.
and then the symptoms go away. Wow, light bulb moment.
Wow.
Okay, so now for our patients that are not GLP-1 people or hormone people, there are skin patients, mm-hmm. there are anti-aging patients, there are wellness patients. How can you tell them that maybe this is a good thing for them too?
Well, first we have to start with symptoms. And if they're having any gut symptoms, any irritable bowel, bingo, there's our answer right there, right off the bat. But if we're not sure, if it's fatigue, if it's brain fog, what is that? Could that be hormone depletion? Could that be other things? Mm-hmm. Yes, that could be a ton of things. So what do we do in that case? I would check a quick CBC at that point.
What about somebody who's coming in and they've got a huge rosacea flare that they've never had, or they've got a big acne on their back breakout, or their skin is really mottled, or they're seeing signs of early aging, premature aging.
Right, right. That can all be connected to the gut. Now, is it 100%? No.
No, lifestyle.
Right. There's many other things, but more often than not, is connected to the gut inflammation. Once you've got that inflammation going on systemically, it'll show up in your skin. It'll show up in your joints. It'll show up other places.
Right. So get that baseline solid and settled.
Right.
And then
get that gut repaired.
Get the gut repaired, and then it's going to make fixing everything else that much easier.
Heck of a lot easier. Everything else is going to work better.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I was, as we all know, I'm the no girl.
Right.
Everything I say is no. I say, no, you can't have that treatment. No, you can't buy that toy. No, you can't have that. No, don't do that. I've threatened to turn off credit cards before. It's my job. So when Dr. Miller first brought this up and said, hey, let's do a podcast on gut health, I was like, seriously, how is that even going to relate? And then she sent me an article and a PowerPoint and an essay and another PowerPoint. And so I know a lot about peptides, and we went to a conference.
Yes, we did.
And so now I know a lot about peptides, and I do believe that I think aesthetic medicine is heading into a whole patient treatment versus a drip here, drop there.
A wellness protocol. If you're healthy on the inside, it's going to reflect on the outside.
Yeah.
And you can do, if you're not healthy on the inside, you can do whatever you want to the outside, and
not going to fix it.
Not going to help. Right.
Yeah.
So I think the whole industry is starting to realize that.
Agreed.
And peptides are a huge tool for that.
Yeah. Yep. I definitely think that is going to be kind of the next wave of aesthetic and wellness medicine. Hey, so we started this red wine when we first started, and we said it was a little bit needed to open up. Let's try it and see what it's done, if anything.
Okay. Oh, so much better.
Right? So much better.
So good.
Yeah. Just opens up, breathes lovely.
It's like a different
wine.
Different flavor profile altogether.
Yeah. She doesn't believe me when I tell her things like this until she tastes it for herself.
Yeah, I have to experience it for myself. Yes. When you first talked about aerating the wine, I'm like, what? But of course, when I first heard about leaky gut, I was, what is that? So
we poo-poo a lot of things until we're those people that you got to put your money where your mouth is, kind of a thing.
Or in the show me state.
Show me. Yeah, you've got to show us that it's going to work. All right. So if you have laughed along with us today and you are interested in fixing your gut, or you're having any of the symptoms maybe that we talked about, little brain fog, joint pain, bloating, your skin just all of a sudden looks really bad, your hormones aren't working, you're plateaued on your GLP-1s, give us a call, 314-394-3915. Ask the girls to book you a consultation. They'll take care of that for you. Or you can go right on to our website at stlouisskin.com. You can book now on there. You can also go to that link on there. You get 10% off of every order and an additional 5% off your first order, as well as free shipping. You can find any of the probiotics that we've talked about today and many others on that website, and they're all brands that we trust. So until next time.
See you later.